Hi guys and girls, welcome back to my channel once again. I'm Petra. I just thought I'd make a quick video on forgiveness because this is something that is brought up quite a lot, with the clients that I work with. And it's been a bit of an issue for me as well. As a spiritual life coach, I understand the power and the strength in forgiveness. But I must say there are two sides to that. And when it comes to abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, manipulation, just, the overall abuse that occurs when you are with a toxic person, let me put it this way. There is a difference between forgiveness and being used as a doormat. And I must say, in my experience, I forgave a lot. I sort of, said, well, this person's going through a tough time. She's had a difficult childhood. She's going through a lot of different things in her life at this point. So maybe that justifies her behavior. So I was making excuses for the behavior. And I wasn't really forgiving because, the thing with forgiveness, especially with a toxic person, you can forgive and forgive and forgive, but you will still be used as a doormat. You will still be manipulated. You will still be treated badly. So I don't think that forgiving the other person is going to get you moving on. What I do believe, though, is that you need to get to a point, as you saw in the video I made with the assignment that I made a couple of days ago. It's all about forgiving yourself. Because what do we do when we are in these toxic relationships? We tend to take on all the blame. We feel guilty. We beat ourselves up on stuff that went on. We'll say, oh, maybe I should have seen that differently. Maybe I did misinterpret certain things. Maybe if I had reacted differently, maybe if I had responded differently, then, things would be better. So we tend to really beat ourselves up about this. And that just does not get you anywhere. When you practice forgiveness for yourself, it is releasing all the toxic energy that you build up in your body after going through narcissistic abuse. So the forgiveness you do for yourself, not for the other person. And once you have written it down, and for those of you who have done the assignment, which I myself have done several times, once you start writing about all your good points, all the positive things about you, about your character, about the way you show up in the world, then you begin to release all this toxic energy that has built up in your body. So when you forgive, it is for you. It is for you to be able to say, this is what has happened. There's nothing I can change about the past. I'm accepting that it happened. And when I say that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that in forgiving yourself that you are condoning the bad behavior of your abuser. I'm not saying that at all. That behavior can never be condoned. But it'll put you in a place of moving on with your life, of reminding yourself that you are a good person, that you did the right thing. Because we tend to forget that when we're going through the abuse. We tend to just remember all the bad stuff and we continue to beat ourselves up. And at some point we start believing that we are the bad party. So that is what I'd like to say on forgiveness. Do it for you so that you can move on. Stop beating yourself up because you can recover from the abuse. I hope you'd like to share your comments on this subject because I know it is a very, it's a subject where, forgiveness is a very difficult thing for people to swallow, especially when you are in that state of anger, when you are feeling hurt, when you are feeling destroyed. I understand and I realize that it is not a nice thing to hear, that your therapist or your coach will tell you you need to forgive. No, it's not about forgiving the other person, the abuser. It's about forgiving yourself. And there was one other thing that I wanted to say on that. When you start practicing the forgiveness, that does not mean that you need to invite the other person over for dinner or drinks. You just don't need to do that. That person, if you have ended the relationship, if you have gone no contact, that person needs to stay away from you and you need to stay away from them. So this is purely for your own healing, to get through this by forgiving yourself and for believing all the stuff that the narcissist put into your head. Okay, I'd like to hear from you. Please share your thoughts on forgiveness, whether you're against it or whether you're for it. I'd just like to start this conversation going. Okay, quick video. Thanks again for tuning in. Give me a like, subscribe, and thank you to all the new subscribers. I appreciate that so much. So thank you. Love and light to you, and stay well, stay happy. Bye for now. See you next time.